Sacramento. Lyndon, you're on the Savage Nation. What's on your mind?
Yes, in October of 2002, Primetime Live aired a 1-hour documentary on the Zodiac investigation. And shortly after, a group of retired police officers, mostly from Vallejo, California, 2 federal agents working as a group, offered San Francisco Police Department an opportunity to scan the file of a suspect they felt was very viable in the Zodiac case. San Francisco Police Department said no. They had
Why? Why do you suppose they're not interested in finding the Zodiac killer?
I have no idea. It's something that we have asked ourselves for several years, but they're totally uncooperative, and they do not share the information whether or not they do, in fact, have the DNA, which our group was primarily responsible for having the tests.
And what year did you offer this information to the SFPD, Lyndon?
After October 2002.
So it's going back that far that this department is so disconnected from wanting to solve crimes. Well, you know we have a homicide epidemic in the city that's being swept under the rug, and this comes from the mayor. Make no mistake about it. This mayor is the biggest goofball in the history of the city. This mayor is living in a crackpot world. He talks about the airport being underwater unless we control global warming, and he sweeps aside the fact that we have a homicide epidemic.
Yeah, well, that's true, but it's not only in San Francisco. It's all over the Bay Area. It's all over the country.
Yes, it is. Police departments have been politicized. It's each man for himself.
Yes, sir. It's a sad truth.
But I find that the small-town police departments are actually very good. The small towns, the suburban towns, I don't think that they're as politicized as the big city departments. Do you?
I don't think they're as politicized, but I don't think they're any more effective than your metropolitan, your larger police departments. Here in Vallejo, our homicide rate is quite high, and our solve rate is something like 12%.
12%. Unbelievable. That's one of the lowest solve rates in the country. Is that because they're hiring morons, or is that because they don't want to point the finger at those who are committing the homicides who are mainly illegal aliens?
No, the truth of the matter seems to be that they're primarily drug-related, and if they are drug-related, it's a kiss-off, because the police departments then can say, oh, it's drug-related, and they won't even bother. They will make a futile attempt to find witnesses, but in these cases, witnesses are not forthcoming.
Well, because the witnesses are getting killed. We've had 2 or 3 cases of witnesses put into witness protection in San Francisco who were found murdered. That's how well protected they are in witness protection.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, you sound like an old-timer in the police world, Lyndon.
Our district attorney many times will demand that the police officer divulge the name of their informants. And when the police officer refuses to do so, they lose, their job is in danger.
Well, that way, if the chief of police can get the name of the informant can disappear. And that way there'll be no crime, and that way the crime rates stay lower.
Yeah.
No, that's what's... Look, you can laugh at it all you want, but we have a very dangerous situation in a country that's becoming increasingly, moving in this direction. We have over 100 homicides in San Francisco. We have a whack job mayor who's living in a dream world, who talks about everything except the gangbangers, everything except the homicide epidemic. And now you have a case that's not related to illegal aliens, not related to a gang, and they won't cover this one either.
Well, as I'll tell you, I think it would take a very extreme act of stupidity for anybody to fall down a damn elevator shaft. I don't think it's possible.
I don't think it's possible. In fact, it's impossible according to all of the data that we've collected. The door's automatically locked. There's no way into the elevator. And if you go to my website, michaelsavage.com, you'll see pictures of the outside door. There are 3 elevators in that bank. The one where he allegedly fell down, is the only bank in which the exterior doors show a sign of a struggle. You can look at it right on my website. They're not interested in this. We try to send these pictures to the police department. They didn't even want to take them, Lyndon.
I believe it. I believe it totally.
Well, why won't the FBI move in here?
Well, it's a problem of jurisdiction. It's a problem of authority. It was not until many years after the Zodiac became very popular that the FBI became somewhat involved in the case. But year after year, they would deny that they had any authority whatsoever. But when you file Freedom of Information, you will find that the FBI has a rather extensive file on the Zodiac.
Do you have any idea who the Zodiac killer is?
Yes, absolutely. We've known for several years.
Is he still living?
Yes, sir, he is.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm telling you the truth. And
where does he live? Does he run a major city, or is he a senator or a congressman?
Well, let's say he could drive to San Francisco in under an hour.
Oh, boy. You want to stay on the show and talk about it for a few minutes?
I would love to.
Stay on the show. I'll be right back.
Savage.
To me. So a guy calls who's a policeman up in another jurisdiction, and I was talking about now about the Zodiac murders. Lyndon in Sacramento, welcome. Lyndon, you say that you know who the Zodiac killer is?
That's correct. I have known since March 15th, 1971. It's a very fascinating, bizarre, almost unbelievable story, but the original investigator in the first homicide case, which occurred on Lake Herman Road here in Vallejo, was ordered to burn his files, destroy his notes, and never mention the suspect's name again.
But why is that, Lyndon?
Why is it? Because it involves a high-ranking official in the judicial system here in Solano County.
Oh, my God.
And the group of officers that have been investigating this case for 37 years were forced into a covert operation sanctioned by the police that they could not and would not release information to us. So everything that we did, we had to do covertly without their knowledge.
So does this individual who you allege is the Zodiac killer, the real Zodiac killer, he's still living?
That's correct, he is.
But, Lyndon, does he know that you are one of the principals who are onto him?
We are fairly certain that he does, yes.
So if what you say is true, why hasn't he gone after you?
Well, I think it has a matter of to do, most likely due to age.
Savage.